Five, four, three, two, one. Let's go. Good evening, Misfits. We are here for the nightly show. If you guys have noticed, I haven't been here for the morning shows this week. Work, you guys know the deal. If work gets absolutely crazy, we can't do the shows in the morning. I've been on a pretty good fucking streak, but it is deadline week, so I'm not even going to be here tomorrow. I was going to try to get it in, but I got to meet the contractor, the GC. Anyway, Shawn, how you doing?
Oh, doing.
Oh,
It's been a week.
it has.
It's been a day.
It's been a day, a week,
Um,
a month, a year.
you know what? It's really funny, Zach, is that a lot of people all of a sudden realized that Signal was an app that a lot of people should use. To be honest with you, I've been using it for the last 3 years, and they're like, "Oh," and I'm like, "No, it's probably one of the most secure apps. It's not foolproof,
You know,
but I had reasonable suspicion 3 years ago that my phone calls were being listened to because two people that, well, not two people, me and the other person I was speaking to on the phone was talking about something that nobody, you know, when you're on your phone on Instagram and you're talking to your buddy about drones, and the next thing you know, you start seeing drone ads, right?
yeah.
So, like, I was talking to a friend of mine about something that nobody knew about. I could guarantee that we were the only two people who knew about it. And then all of a sudden, somebody who we didn't want to know about this particular thing
Yeah.
found out about it,
Uh-huh.
and he was like, "This is not good." So I started doing almost all my phone calls over Signal,
Uh-huh.
and I haven't had that problem since. So it's been good for me. A lot of people are like, it's not secure. I'm like, well, nothing's foolproof, but it's better than
So
texting,
a
you
buddy
know?
of mine is in the Intel community, and that's how we communicate. And he's the one who suggested it, right? Like I'm
Yeah.
looking at my signal right now. I got one, two, three. I got basically three people. Three people. One of them, actually, I won't say two people. Really, one person, just my buddy. Just like I'm like, how many of these people do I talk to regularly? Just my buddy who works with a three-letter agency. And they're like, I'm not gonna disclose any of our messages, but the things that he would send me, it's nothing like he's not sending me any classified information. He's just pointing me to like Instagram reels that are talking about something that he would tell me about, like nothing that would get him in trouble is like the TikTok ban. He's like listen, and that, what was that AI that China came up with, which was
Deep Seek.
DeepSeek. He
Thing's
warned me
scary.
about DeepSeek.
Yeah.
Not warned me. He was just like, he's like, everybody's worried about this. Everyone's worried about TikTok, but you need to be worried about DeepSeek. And then like a week later, everyone's talking about DeepSeek. So he's basically just a few days ahead of everybody else. And again, just to be very clear, he is not sharing anything with me. I'm not trying to get this dude fired. It's like literally just like sending me an Instagram ad from somebody who's ahead of the news story. Where I think that he might have, more because he's in Intel. You know, these Intel guys, they're all nerds. But yeah, speaking of Signal, dude, look, this fucking story. I made a post this morning and I was like, is anyone else getting annoyed where look, it's a double-edged sword, right? We are the media now. It's a double-edged sword having a bunch of influencers and a bunch of content creators be the new media. Because what you are getting is you're getting an organic version of the inorganic fake news media, where they get fed a message by somebody with an agenda, and they all repeat it. We've all seen the video where all the news stations are saying the same thing and reading from the same script. It's pretty
Yes.
much the same fucking thing on X, right? I opened X today and yesterday, and it's like, oh my god, Signal, classified information, fucking Mark Walls, or fucking whatever his name is. And it's like, guys, hey, look, Do you realize that Trump signed an executive order about election integrity? Do you guys realize that there's other fucking things? This is not a story. Like, yes, it's a story. Okay, sure. But it's reminding me of when a white girl goes missing, everybody fucking plays it on repeat for fucking 2 weeks when it could have been covered in one segment. And hey, we'll let you know if we find her. This was something that I think was a mistake, and maybe, possibly, I don't want to get too conspiratorial, could possibly have not even been a mistake. You know, maybe somebody fucking added that guy to the group chat, and maybe it was nobody in the group chat. You know, maybe it was an aide.
Well, I will time out because because there's a very telling photo of all the screenshots that came out. And one of those photos was the fact that it showed that Mike Waltz, which means a device owned by Mike Waltz or synced
Yeah.
with Mike Waltz's Signal account, added the journalist. Now,
Yeah.
that means one of two things. Okay. Like when you try and start a group chat on Signal, I tried doing that this morning. I put me and Brennan in a test one. And I tried adding somebody by phone number, just another phone that I had, and I put a number in. Couldn't do it because it wasn't one of my contacts and wasn't a Signal user. Okay.
Gotcha.
If it's not one of my contacts synced to a device that has my account on it, I can't add the person. So that means one of two things happened here. A, Mike Waltz had this guy's number saved in his phone. And that's not a problem. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I have on my phone.
But he had him saved as JG.
From time in New York, I got NPR people.
Yeah, but he had him.
I got New York Times.
Had him saved as.
I got fake news.
JG.
You know?
He had him saved as his initials, though. It's like, yeah. Look.
Well, now Signal. If you are a Signal user, you can choose to have your name displayed that way.
Gotcha.
Okay. Now, or somebody else. There's this Alex Wong, who's the staffer that Waltz put up there and said he's getting everybody together. Let's say, for instance, and I'm not saying this is what happened, but this could be what happened. Okay. On Alex Wong's device, one of his devices, because he's Waltz's deputy, he is using Mike Waltz's Signal account to monitor and know what's going on. Alex Wong could have that contact saved to his head, have added him that way as well.
Could have been an look. It could have been an accident. It could have been.
I think it was an accident.
Sure.
And I think it was carelessness.
Sure.
And that part of it's not okay.
No, look.
But this was not classified information.
Well, we can get to that. But here's the deal. All right. This is my position. Okay. Look, if you don't from now on, if you don't have to do something, don't do it. Right? Like if Trump doesn't have to fire somebody because of a mistake somebody made, don't do it. Right? Because what I'm seeing here is I'm seeing the left, right, jump on this. They are dogpiling on this. They are making it seem like the sky is raining down. And even, you have some conservatives. You have Dave Portnoy, who's like, come on, you got to fire the guy. And it's like, hey, shut the fuck up, Dave. Shut the fuck up. Like, hey, listen, here's the deal. Abbey Gate, 13 dead U.S. soldiers, right? Nobody fired, right? Adding a fucking reporter by accident to a group chat that didn't have classified information, and we'll get to that in a second, right? But it's not. It's not a fireable offense to me. It's definitely a good chewing out. It's like that scene from Inglourious Basterds. I've gotten chewed out before. I'm probably gonna get chewed out. Like something like that. And I'm sure that Trump did. I'm sure that Trump was like, hey, what the fuck, guys? This guy fucking hates me. This is also, and look, again, the problem with conspiracy theorists is they fucking run with anything. Now you got the people that are like, oh, this was all done because the guy was the Russia.
That's my least favorite talking point.
The Russia gate.
Or they say, they did this to expose the leaker.
Yeah, no.
And I'm like, okay, the administration right now, no matter how you spin it, doesn't look good in the face of this. If they did this intentionally to catch the bad guy,
then that's
somebody would have said that by now.
Yeah. Now, look, here's the deal. Occam's razor, The most likely scenario is most likely the scenario. So the guy got added. It was an accident. Who knows how it happened? Who cares how it happened? Here's what it is: it is an accident that happened. Nothing happened because of the accident, but everybody's saying, but what could have happened oh, what could have happened? Well, hey, you know what? I could have woken up today and hit the fucking lottery. A lot of things could have happened. All right? Like enough with this maybe bullshit. All right? Like, well, what if it was an Al Jazeera reporter? It fucking wasn't. All right? It fucking wasn't.
Right.
That's what.
Right.
Like, what if? What if? I don't fucking care what if, because what is what happened. So this should have been a 1 day headline that has now still been you got eyelashes here. Jasmine Crockett: Signalgate is a threat to national security. Period. Your fucking eyelashes are a threat to national security. Those things are gonna jump off your face, and somebody's gonna trip and fall. It's bullshit. It's clear what it is. It's just like Russiagate. It's just like fucking what is it? When Trump said bloodbath? It's the bloodbath hoax.
The bloodbath
It's
hoax, suckers and losers hoax. It's all
look
that.
it.
Fine people.
If the Democrats want something, my position is do the exact opposite and do it
Every time.
aggressively. So if you have
Yeah.
Democrats that are like, you need to fire, I would get on Trump. Trump handled it perfectly today in the Oval when he was taking questions. He goes, yeah, he's like, it was a mistake. Oh, sorry. And then somebody was like, Pete Hegseth. He's like, Pete Hegseth didn't do it. He's like, Mike Walls came out and said it was his fault. He's not getting fired. Let's move on. And that's how it should have been handled, and how it was handled. But yeah, this is my problem. My problem is the new media, right? They're jumping on to any story that's going to get them clicks. And this is the problem with mainstream media. The way you fix mainstream media is you take money out. Mainstream media never should have had advertisers, right? It never should have been able to. You never should have been able to advertise on a news network, right? Because what happens is you got Pfizer and these special interest groups that just buy up commercials. So nobody's going to, whether you're doing it consciously or subconsciously, you're not going to push a story that's anti-vax or anti-medication or anti this or anti that. It should all be objective, right? Everything should be objective, and it's not. The new thing that the new media wants is they want clicks. These people are not like, look, I know that Laura Loomer gets some things right. Okay, I know she gets some things right, and I know that she does some type of good journalism, but 90% of the other shit she does is for attention. It's literally just look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. If you're the story, you're not a journalist, right?
Right. Right. That's true.
If you are the number one thing that you want to be covered, you are not a journalist, you are a fucking influencer. Okay? So be a journalist or be an influencer. Just stop calling yourself a journalist if you're an influencer. You know? That's all I'm saying. And I'm tired of the new media. The new media, as of right now, I'm not impressed. Right? Because it's the same bullshit. It's everybody's pushing. I can get on my ex in the morning, and the same fucking people are saying the same fucking thing every fucking day. And it's like, and then, look, I'm not trying to toot my own horn here. Look, I talk about the things that nobody else is talking about. I start sounding the alarm on shit like Andrew Tate. I start sounding the alarm on shit like the woke right? I start sounding the alarm on shit where I get attacked, and I'm getting attacked because I'm not saying the thing that other people are saying. I don't look like I'm part of the tribe, and they go, why is he stepping out of line? All right, that's what it is. It's like I'm getting attacked constantly because I'm stepping out of line. And I think that more people should do it. I think you should find something that you think is interesting or something that you think is important and talk about it. But if you got DC Drano and Chad Prather fucking copy and pasting each other's fucking messages all the time, what the fuck is the difference between that and MSNBC? What is it? There's no
What
difference.
about what about Big Soda?
Oh
Remember
my
that
God, Big
nonsense?
Soda. Yeah, it's like, dude, are you fucking people high? All right. there are conservatives, right? You got Jenna Ellis, fucking DC Drano, what is it? The other guy. They're all saying, "Oh, you can't restrict what people want." No, yes you can. It's free fucking money. It's government.
Well, yeah, and it's our money that's
Yeah.
harvested by the government and dispersed by the government. Therefore, the government can absolutely tell you
Yeah.
what you can do. And here's an even better one. You got an HSA. The government has already made it a law that you cannot spend your own money because it's before
Yeah.
taxes in an HSA account on something that is not HSA eligible, or else you have to pay taxes on it. So
Well,
we already allow the government to do this.
these
I mean,
these are the
it's
same these are
crazy.
the same people who a couple of years ago were like, "Oh, why do people get to buy lobster with their food stamps?" And now all of a sudden they think that they should be able to buy soda with their food stamps? Look, SNAP stands for Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. Tell me what is
Yep.
nutritional about soda. If it's not
Nothing.
nutritional, no. You know what? In my opinion, I'm an extremist on this fucking shit. In my opinion, the only thing you should be able to buy with SNAP is organic food. You should be able to buy meat, dairy, vegetables, and that's fucking it, right? And
I actually said the same thing. I said the same thing last week. I said, you know what? You want to really get these people healthy, if it's really supposed to be a nutritional
no
program,
processed food.
meat, veggies, water, and maybe a sports drink like
Yeah,
Gatorade, but no iced tea, because iced tea is uncarbonated
yeah,
soda.
essentially.
That's all it
I
is.
mean,
Okay.
unless it's real natural. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Well, no, and that's different.
Yeah,
But if it's Lipton,
yeah,
no.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Brisk. That's brisk.
Apple
Yeah.
juice, a lot of apple juice is some
Hey,
concentrate that's got the high fructose.
make it,
But if it's that freshly squeezed, you're at a farm stand
make
and they
it.
accept it, that's a little
How
bit
about
different.
doing this? Right, SNAP should only cover two ingredients or less. If it has two ingredients or less, then you can get it. Like, if the
Yeah.
ingredient is milk, like if the ingredient is steak, like if the ingredient,
Well, the thing is, too, you had Oliver Anthony, that song a couple years ago, talking about how people were buying fudge rounds on
yeah,
welfare, right?
exactly,
And everyone got pissed about it, like, oh, that's not a nice thing to say. But other people were like, it's an
it
issue.
is.
Now they're like, well, we want it to stay. Well, not fudge rounds, but
Well,
soda.
look,
It's liquid fudge. It's the same
here's the
thing.
deal, right?
You don't listen. And the thing about soda is when you stop drinking it, you'll stop wanting to drink it.
Correct,
Sugar is one of the most addictive substances on the
yeah,
planet. It activates the exact pleasure receptors in your brain as
that's how I lost.
cocaine.
Yes, it used to be. They used to put actual cocaine in it.
That's crazy.
When I was in high school, I was a pudgy kid, right? And that's how I lost weight. I had a growth spurt at the same time, but I literally stopped drinking soda, and I don't. I still today don't drink soda. Like I have had a soda every like when I go to the movies, I drink a soda for some reason, an orange soda. It's like a weird traditional thing. Uh,
That's cultural appropriation.
yes. Yes. Well, it's not grape crank. Um,
But who loves orange soda? Kel loves orange
Did you see
soda.
did you see the Valentina Gomez chick on a scooter in an all orange jumpsuit and she goes, "It's fashion. Have you ever heard of it?" And I go, "Fucking it's something." That chick is built like a trailer park refrigerator.
Oh my
Um
goodness. Trailer park
she's fucking
refrigerator. That's
she's
funny.
insufferable. So anyway, Snap, right? That that right there, I think that if we're going to another thing about it, look, we voted. I don't want to be authoritarian per se, but I do think that the other side should get in line a little bit when the other side wins, right? Like so like hey, you concede a little bit when more than half the country, like when half the country, let's call it, half the country votes for Trump. They vote for Bobby Kennedy. They vote for Agenda 47, right? Hey, you take your L, okay? And you go, "Hey, you know what? We lost. You know, we lost and this is the agenda." But I mean, like the whole every fucking thing that Donald Trump does fighting it, right? Fighting it like it's like, guys, you're telling half the country that you won when you lost, right? It's like
Right.
sit back and just this is what I said when Joe Biden won. I said it, I remember this conversation with my friend. I said, "I hope he does a good job." I said, "I hope he does a good job because I look, we lost, but rooting for the fucking plane to crash because you don't like the pilot doesn't help anybody.
It doesn't help anybody. No.
Now then we saw Joe Biden what he was doing, and then it was like, okay, listen. But initially, I'm saying first 100 days. First 100 days, maybe the other side should be like, okay, let's see what you can do. Just like Thomas Massey, right? With the first 100 days, sit the fuck down and get in line. Just the first 100 days is all I'm asking for. Stop challenging Trump on every fucking thing, right? You ran as a fucking Republican, act like it. And the other side, it's like they really are throwing a tantrum. But you know what the biggest problem is with we're we're being sore winners. There are people on the right who are acting like we are now some sort of a far right nationalist fucking movement, and they're showing their true colors. You know, obviously the Jew haters and the fucking the Christian, even not I say evangelicals, I mean fundamentalists. I always mix those two up. But the Christian
Yeah.
fundamentalists, you know, the IVF and blah blah blah. Look, you lost, okay? You lost. Everybody lost that isn't Trump Agenda 47. If you're not Trump Agenda 47, you lost. Get in line, and after 100 days, if Trump is not doing a good job, start screaming about it. But for fucking 3 months, just sit the fuck down and stop trying to crash the fucking plane. All right, like
Right.
we won. Just let it go. All right. So I did want to talk about this signal thing. And I wanted to talk about this Trump executive order. I haven't had time. I told you guys, it's work has been crazy this week. I haven't had time to look into this too much, but I'm hoping you have. This election integrity executive order, from what I understand, is it's going to require a voter ID. Essentially, it's going to be an executive order where if they don't approve it in certain states, then they're going to lose federal funding. It's the same thing he's doing with schools and shit like that. I'm sure that some fucking rogue judge is going to come out and be like, "You can't do that."
It's already been challenged. And I hate to be that guy, but I don't know if it's constitutional
Yeah,
because the Constitution says that all 50 states get to make their own rules
sure.
within reason. Obviously, you have to be 18 to vote. That's
Now look,
federal.
that
It's up to the states for voter ID. Now, I don't know if he can tie federal funding to that. That's going to be something that's looked at, I guess, closer. But um, obviously, look, I I want voter ID in all 50
well, voter ID
states.
has to happen.
What I don't
Is a
want
federal policy.
is the federal government to mandate
Mm-hmm.
or coerce these states to do it because
I disagree.
that precedent is going to come back to bite us. What happens when a Democrat inevitably gains power again and they say all 50 states must mandate, must provide no excuse absentee balloting, and now you have a mess on your hands, and the precedent was voter ID. It should be passed in each state independently. It's not going to be passed in a place like
Okay.
California. It's not going to be passed in a place like New York. But it will get passed in
Yeah.
Florida. It will get passed in Tennessee. It will get, well, Tennessee already has it.
Yeah.
It will get passed in a place like Texas and the red states. And then the swing states, you've got momentum now. Pass it. Wisconsin, April 1st. You have a
But
Supreme Court election in Wisconsin. We have to win that. If we win that, there's a possibility that that this type of rule can be passed in a place like Wisconsin. Federally, if it's done federally, that precedent will be weaponized in the future, I
okay,
believe.
here's where I disagree. It's a federal election, okay? So I think that they should be able to coerce for the federal election only, right? With, hey, if you don't do this voter ID for the federal election, then why the fuck should we give you federal funding? That
The problem is the Constitution specifically gives that power of elections and rules to the states, even for federal
correct, but
elections.
I'm saying, look, this is what I'm saying. Trump has the authority, I think he has the constitutional authority to decide who gets federal funding. Okay? It's a federal government, they get to decide who has federal funding. So if states aren't working with the federal government, then that's the only real leverage that they have. So it's like with
And that may be the way he can
that's
do
what
it.
I'm saying.
He's
I'm
mandated,
not saying yeah,
but
I'm
I
not saying
think
that yeah,
that can still be again in the future. You
but they
look
do it
at it,
anyway. Democrats do it anyway. They didn't give federal funding to red states. They prioritized blue states. They just did it behind their backs. Trump is at least honest and says, "Hey, I'm doing it."
Yeah, I get it. I understand. I definitely get it, and I definitely want voter ID.
Mm-hmm.
And this is not him signing a law
Mm-hmm.
as an EO. This is him saying this is what my office is going to do, and it's going to be challenged.
Sure.
And Mark Elias is challenging it. He's an election lawyer. He's a scumbag
Yeah.
and one of the dirtiest guys. He sued in all 7 swing states before the 2020 election, expanding the absentee ballot program. Bad guy, Clinton guy. He was a Perkins Coie lawyer. Perkins Coie was involved with the dossier, the whole 9 yards. This is the way to try to do it if you're Trump. Now, the federal government again may pass a voter ID law that says now, and again, federal government does Congress have the power to tell every state how they can run their elections? I don't know.
Yeah.
The SAVE Act is
Well,
different because there is a provision in the Constitution that says you have to be a citizen to vote in elections. There's no provision in the Constitution that says you have to
you know
provide
what?
proof of
I
citizenship.
wonder.
So that's where that
I
law comes
wonder
in.
if there's. I wonder if there's a way to say, okay, fine, run your elections however you want, but it is federal authority to oversee elections, right? Federal elections. And if you get caught, if your state gets caught with illegal voters or illegal votes, then we could put some type of punitive damages, some type of punishment, right? Like the Federal Election Commission could oversee, and they have federal election workers and whatever. If they catch red-handed in the 2026 election, let's say they catch California letting illegals vote, right? Who can, besides the actual people who voted illegally, who else can they charge and go after and use the power of the federal government to enforce the law that's already on the books? It's already on the books. You can't have.
That would be a DOJ issue, and they would have a
That's
case.
what I'm saying. So,
They already have a case.
well, that,
They already
yeah,
have a case. If the Department of Justice wanted to sue California because they had reasonable suspicion and probable cause that illegal aliens or non-citizens or non-residents of
yeah,
California,
anything,
maybe people who lived in
anything,
Nevada
double
voted.
votes, dead people voting, anything.
Perfect. They could absolutely sue the state of
I
California
think that
and
I
win.
think the easiest way to do this, I think the best way to do this, right, is to prosecute the 2024 election. Even though we won, right? I think there was voter fraud. So if you have get rid of 2020, all right? It's over. Okay? I understand everybody wants to find out, just fucking prioritize. The one that just happened a few months ago, if you start going through that with a fine tooth comb, now that fucking Trump has the power of the federal government, and you can find shit that they didn't have time to shred yet, then that would be the way to force the hand of Congress. Because you could say, look, we just found this from 3 months ago. 3 fucking months ago they did this, right? Because if you try to litigate 2020, then it's a lot of it's already been shredded, a lot of it's already been buried, a lot of it's already been litigated. But if you try to litigate 2024, even though Trump won, it doesn't matter. If it happened, it happened. That might be the route to go. Either way, I said this to you before the election. I've said it to you after the election. This is the number one issue that you have to fix the elections before 2026. It has to happen. I don't even care how it happens. It has to happen because if they continue to cheat, they're not going to cheat in a way where they're going to get, like I would say like all of their like they're not going to get like fucking a super majority and make it blatantly obvious, but they are going to target little small elections where they can get away with it. And you need to be strategically smart, and you need to catch them in the act and also catch them in what they just did. So if we were able to do that, that would be the way I would go about it. And I'm sure that I'm fucking, high school dropout. I'm pretty sure they've already thought about it. But speaking of federal judges, like just coming in and just taking over the fucking White House, did you see this? A federal judge denies Trump admin's efforts to ban transgender people from the military.
Mm-hmm.
Explain to me how a federal judge has any authority over the commander-in-chief, the highest rank in the military.
What's even worse than that? What's even worse than that? And you're right, because Donald Trump is the commander in chief of the United States military.
Mm-hmm.
But what's even worse than that is these district court
It's
judges.
in DC.
They now have than a Supreme Court justice.
Yeah.
One ruling from a
Yep.
district court judge can alter the course of a country. It takes 5
Yep.
Supreme Court justices to make a ruling that would overturn one judge's ruling. That's a problem.
Straight to jail.
Huge problem.
I said this to you last week. I'm getting to the point where I don't like the thoughts that are coming into my head, because
Me either. I don't like them either, because I sound like
my first thought is arrest him
Yeah.
immediately. I don't care, fucking figure the charge out later. That judge, handcuffs, cell now, right now, boom, done. I'm sure he's guilty. Just straight to jail, straight to jail,
Right to jail, right
right
away.
to jail. Speaking of jail, Andrew Tate. Oh my god. Oh my god. Let's see if
I like how you weave that one in.
Let's see.
Speaking of jail, let's talk about a filthy bastard.
Hold on. Let's see if this thing starts glitching. We'll dump it, but let's see if we can do it. Every time I try to bring in the OS screen capture, we get glitchy, but maybe, just maybe, it'll work today. Okay, we're gonna go with X, and we're gonna bring up this TMZ article that you shared with me. Let's see, we gotta get that. Oh, we gotta move you. Well, where are you? Where are you?
Very finicky, but there's a police report, there's medical reports. There's a lot of evidence in this one. So
Yeah, this
I'm
one.
not saying
so
that
look,
I'm definitely not going to go out and say that this definitely happened as described, because we've seen numerous cases, Trevor Bauer being one of them, the MLB pitcher, where it was the complete opposite.
Okay, now
However,
this is
totally
yeah.
different.
So this is let's go to my profile. Because I just posted about it. Right here, I pulled a screenshot from this TMZ article. So basically, Andrew Tate's girlfriend, one of his girlfriends, Bree something, she just filed a police report against him while he was in LA. The day he went and met Kanye West, she reported that he had strangled her and choked her almost to the point of unconsciousness. She went to the emergency room in New York City because she had a work thing, and the documents, these I believe are confirmed, shows that she was diagnosed as post-concussive. So that's a big.
Oh wow, I didn't read that far.
Yeah.
That's a big
Yeah.
deal.
So this girl had a concussion. And here are some text messages between her and Andrew Tate. They're claiming these are true. This is on Signal. I can tell by the format. This is supposedly, allegedly, Andrew Tate. He says, because I want to beat the fuck out of you. You'll give me a child this year. And she goes, why do you want to beat me? It's 12:30 a.m. I'm in the room. I sleep soon. Sorry to laugh about this, but I can hear her accent. What's the point in having you? If I don't beat you and impregnate you, you should be thankful. I love hitting you. It's very good. It's relaxing, don't you think? This is sociopathic shit. Pookie, no, I
It's
cry. Yeah,
disgusting.
Pookie, no, I cry. And if these are true, you need to be hit. Why? I don't like it. What did I do? You deserve it. If you ever betray me, you'll regret it. Okay, crazy. No, I'm serious. So these are brand new allegations. Come
From
Yeah,
March
from
11th.
March 11th. He flew in, I believe, on March 4th. And I'm gonna go and check out your post because I think you dropped the TMZ one. No, 10 hours ago. I thought you just dropped it.
I did an hour ago. I color me shocked. One of your Tate's girlfriend says he needs to.
So this is story. Oh, that's only off of X. Yeah. Okay. So I can't get to that one, but either way, we'll see where that goes. Let's get rid of this because it's already making my fucking shit slow. I gotta get a new computer. I either gotta get a new computer or not. Maybe it's just so basically, here's what I know so far. I just saw this a few hours ago. Uh, Andrew Tate allegedly is dating this girl. He flew her to Romania. Allegedly, according to her, he did try to coerce her into doing OnlyFans, which is his MO. He says he doesn't do it anymore, but this is according to her. Um, they he's in the same clothes he was wearing when he did the that gym video, so the timing lines up, the photos line up, everything lines up as far as her evidence. She took some pictures of herself. Her face was bruised. She gave all this to TMZ. She filed a police report the second he went to Romania. And she waited until he left because she was scared. Here's the conspiracy theory already coming from some people. I doubt it, but just for full disclosure, they're saying that this could be a trap. The girl is selling a fake story so that when she gets exposed as lying, it makes him look better, like this is what all the girls are like. They're all liars. So maybe he told her to do this and told her to do this fake story. The reason I would say that's unlikely is the post concussive
The
rep- rep-
diagnosis.
report from the hospital, the pictures that she took, the immediate, like, I'm all right, he's gone. I can go and I feel safe now. I can go tell. So if all of this is true, that's not going to look good for him because that happened in America. And
Right.
here's the thing, guys, look, I'm not if I was one of these people that really like gave it, like, I'm not one of these Me Too fucking movement people. Okay? And I hate to sound cold and I hate to sound like kind of like a dick, but if it wasn't for Andrew Tate trying to infiltrate MAGA, I probably wouldn't be covering this as extensively. I would still cover it. I would still call him a piece of shit. I would probably be more like Shawn, where I cover it, randomly.
Yeah.
But because he's trying to infiltrate MAGA, because I could see that there was some type of, grift that I am still fully convinced is what his plan was, I was screaming at the top of my lungs about it. Now that he's gone, now that this story has come out, I don't see a reason for me to be as aggressive towards him. I think this is the beginning of the end for Mr. Tatey Poo.
I
Um,
think so too, especially with him cozying up now with Kanye.
well,
That's toxic.
well,
Trump wants nothing to do with Kanye now. I think Andrew Tate may
so
be moving away from the Trump
no, I
administration.
think that the Trump administration is moving away from him. I don't think that it's any
Oh
coincidence.
well,
I
that's
don't think
true.
it's any
That's true.
coincidence that Alina Habba just got a nice little demotion to New Jersey. She's now going to be the DA in New Jersey. Still a good position, but I'm pretty sure she wanted to be in the White House and now she's not. I would say that between Paul and Gracia being booted out of the White House circle, moved over to DHS, Alina Habba being booted out of the White House circle, moved over to New Jersey. If we see Rick Grinnell get any type of lateral movement or demotion, I think that'll be the final nail in the coffin.
Well, we'll see because he's the head of the Kennedy Center,
Mm-hmm.
and he's also one of these envoys. And I don't know how long you serve as envoy, but he may wind up not doing that.
That's what I'm saying because I think he was the envoy to Romania.
I'm not sure if he was the envoy to Romania.
That
He was the envoy to somebody else. Rick Grinnell, envoy. Let's see who's the envoy to. Rick Grinnell is special presidential envoy for special missions of the United States. Let's see. He was the Germany. Let's be clear about the Budapest member. Oh, jeez, hold on. Let me see what his actual title is. According to, let's see what his bio says. Nothing. Imperfect follower of
Well,
Christ.
he was
Thanks. Where?
well, he was in Romania, right? Speaking with the Romanian government. So that's why I thought he was the envoy to Romania. But either way,
Let's see.
you know, either way, if you're seeing these lateral movements away from the Trump circle, and the common denominator is Andrew Tate's support, 2 out of 3 so far. There's 3 people in the Trump circle, and 2 out of 3 of them have been moved out of the Trump circle. So I don't know. 66% is pretty good. Fucking pretty good enough.
So he's the special envoy for special missions, tasking him with helping the incoming administration deal with some of the toughest foreign policy challenges. So it's very vague. It's a wide scope.
Okay, so that's why he was in Romania.
That's why he was talking to
Okay.
them. Yeah, the whole election thing that went on over there, and
Yeah, he might have been there for something completely different, actually, now that I think about it, because there was at the same time, there was some stuff going on over there. But again, right, what I'm gonna do is at this point, I think I'll be happy to now see it play out, because unless I see something else happen where it's like, he's on another fucking podcast with Benny Johnson. I'm like, unless I see something like that, I think it's a good time to, take the W. And hey, I've said many times, no matter how much I scream about it, the dude's going down, because he's got 49 different victims, now 50 technically. Oh shit. That he just fucking chalked up another one.
yeah,
Yeah,
totality.
you just rounded it out, bro. Good job. 49 different victims, 7 in Romania, 1 now in America, and 42 in the UK. If he was to beat all charges in the UK, they already have an extradition agreement. Or sorry, if he was to beat all charges in Romania, which he won't, he would still have to be extradited to the UK, and where he would then go on and be arrested immediately. I think they'd lock him up too. I don't think they're gonna fucking give him the same type of treatment. Fucking go roam around and fly around and do all that shit.
No.
I think that he would be in big trouble if he goes there. And I think with this new allegation, where a police report has been filed, then I think that if he had any plans on coming back to America, he might be rethinking it. So if he's out of America and he's out of the Trump circle, I'm going to report it the same way anybody else reports it. If it hits the mainstream news, you'll see me talk about it. If it doesn't, I'm not screaming about it anymore. And
How about this? I got a question for you.
yeah.
After this, I just wanted I have it on my screen. So whatever you were saying about Tate, and I think that's the right move. The Trump administration is putting distance. We've seen that consistently over the last month or so,
Mm-hmm.
and that was the
That
goal.
was the goal.
That was the goal. So mission somewhat accomplished for now,
Yeah.
unless he tries to come back around.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be a little tight-lipped about this, but let's just say the thing that I told you guys that I was doing, I'm doing that. That's going to happen. Um, I'm not one of those people that says I'm gonna do something and then at least doesn't try to do it. And I don't want to, speak out of turn, but I have consulted with certain people, and we've got some very promising news back. So when I know more about that, I can when I get the green light to give more information on that, I will. But I think we did it, is what I'm saying. And it's one of those things where it's not like some movie type of, like big grand finale. If you want to get everything you want, if you want to get like a tweet from Donald Trump like Andrew Tate's a scumbag, you might not get it, but you might get distance. You might get just political fucking separation. We don't want to see him, go into any more UFC fights. A charge, a fucking police report filed against him in LA. I think even Dana White is going to be like, okay, maybe I shouldn't fucking shake that guy's hand anymore. You know, it's possible.
Yeah.
And that
Here's a good one. I got a good one for you here. Curious to hear your thoughts. I don't know if you've heard about this yet today. Charles Gasparino, I think he's a Fox
yeah,
correspondent or a
Charlie
reporter.
Gasparino.
Charlie Gasparino, Fox business correspondent, New York Post columnist. JD Vance and an investor group is eyeing a point in time next week to announce a TikTok deal to prevent the April 5th ban
Mm-hmm.
of TikTok. This is what's in this deal. Okay, I don't think you're gonna like it, but this is what's in the deal. Um, the deal would allow ByteDance to maintain a small equity piece in the new company.
Mm-hmm.
The current algorithm remains in the new company, and Vance is working to assuage fears from equity players that the Chinese built algorithm violates the law. While some equity holders still want to build a new algorithm, Oracle, who's a US company, will play a major role in storing data. US equity holders in current company will maintain the controlling stake of the company. So Vance is leading an investor group to try and buy TikTok
So the
or to bring TikTok into the United States. Current algorithm, but the data is stored in-house in the United
the
States.
only thing that I would say is the hiccup there is that didn't the Supreme Court say that China can't own any of it?
It was vague. I don't think they couldn't. There was either a number or they couldn't have a controlling
I
stake.
think it was like not was it
Um,
19%?
there may have been a number, but it looks like um, it says here small equity piece in the new company. So what is small? I don't know, but
Well, here's the deal.
that's the group that, and then that April 5th is when the ban goes back in, and it
Yeah.
has to go back
No,
in
it has to.
because this, because
Trump
that's the
alluded
law.
Trump alluded today that he'd be able to extend it again. I don't think he can do that. Cuz I
No, I don't think right now, actually, with all of this whole thing going on with judges, if he goes ahead and spurns the Supreme Court, it's not going to look
well,
good
look,
for him.
like this is I made this post earlier today or yesterday, I can't remember, but I said, "Hey, if you challenge every single thing Trump does, you're in a cult. And if you agree with every single thing Trump does, you're in a cult." I go, the tribalistic mentality is fucking bullshit. I go, look, I am a huge Trump supporter. I am always going to be a huge Trump supporter. But can he do no wrong? Absolutely not. I think I
Exactly.
think he's fumbled the shit out of this fucking TikTok thing. And I think that he's doing it because he sees a political tool that he can wield to his advantage. And cozying up to fucking China in order to win more votes or control more messaging, I don't think is worth it. But I could be wrong. Maybe he knows something I don't, but either way, I'm going to, as somebody who knows in depth how that app works, how that algorithm works, that algorithm, in my opinion, has to go. It has to fucking go. Whether it's China controlling it, America controlling it, anyone fucking controlling it. That algorithm is mental fentanyl. It is something that we should not even have in this. It's just like the scene from fucking Dark Knight when Morgan Freeman looks at Christian Bale and he goes, "No man should have this much power." Right? That crazy fucking algorithm, it keeps you engaged. It's fucking it's way different. I'm telling you, I can't even explain it. But it's way different than X, it's way different than Instagram.
Oh, it's totally different than
It's
X. It's
so
totally,
it's
listen, and
so
I
different.
don't disagree with you that that algorithm is malicious.
It's so
It's
malicious.
definitely malicious. Now that the main, I guess, objective of the legislation was the surveillance aspect. It wasn't necessarily, they don't give a shit who's
I know.
addicted to an algorithm. I know that your stance is, well, it's the algorithm. Now that's a part of this um, deal, is that the algorithm would remain in place and the surveillance aspect of it would be solved because Oracle would be holding the data, so China wouldn't have access to
Yeah,
the
I think
data.
we're playing with
That
fire.
might that might be enough to get people to say, okay.
Listen, here's what I'm gonna do, and I've taken this position on everything I've ever argued, whether I like it or not. If it's constitutional, I'll be on board, right? If it's constitutional, I can live with it, right? But will I like it? No, probably not. I mean, hey, look, you know what I'll do? I'll jump back on fucking TikTok once this thing is all done. I'll check it out for myself. If I see it's a better platform now that it's under control, maybe I'll change my mind and we'll figure it out that way. But, the way that TikTok goes after people and censors people is another big issue. And I think with American control, I think that that would become less of a problem. So maybe it would be a more even platform of freer speech, you know, like so.
I think the biggest problem with TikTok, honestly, is the fact that everyone or a lot of people know kind of what you know, how to go after people on that app.
Yeah, no, you can just mass report.
And those loopholes and all
They
those
all need to
things,
be
you know, the
fixed. Yeah,
mass reporting, the doxing, all that, that's what makes that app,
it's
in my opinion, more dangerous than China knowing what's
well,
going on. China knows what's going on. You got Google, China knows what's going on. It's the bullying, the
yeah.
doxing, and all that,
Well, because
you
it gets
know,
people because
that's a
well,
problem.
it's the format of TikTok. Okay, think about it this way: what does TikTok have? They have these things called duets, and they have these things called stitches, right? What a stitch does is a stitch creates an opportunity for a clapback, right? I'm a clapback creator. Okay, I'm good at it. I was
Yeah, the stitch.
yeah.
Yeah.
So when you stitch somebody, what it gives somebody an opportunity to essentially make a tiny little propaganda piece out of your video where they take you out of context and then they immediately jump into their commentary on the out of context thing that they just did to you. So it creates this like, okay, it creates a high school bully fucking environment, right? Where it's like, okay, let's say I said something like, um, the snap program, like let's say I was like, are you guys
Well,
fucking
just do this, ready? Do this. I would never say Hitler was a good guy.
yeah.
And they'll take the I would never say, and they would have Zach Bonfilio saying Hitler was a good
Yeah,
guy,
exactly. You
right?
could do it that way, but you know, so yes, that's a perfect example. But not only that, right? What it does is it gets that video that you did, right? All of those followers, right? So let's say you're a call out creator. Those followers that have a lot of bots, that have a lot of cult like followers, they now go to your page and immediately start mass reporting you. It's literally what they do. It's like it's not even a secret, right? It's like the people who are call out creators, you could just be minding, and this is what I was doing. At the time, I was minding my own business, creating regular content, and I got a call out creator. When the call out creator grabbed my video and fucking went after me, all of his followers mass reported me, got my account taken down, 118,000 followers just gone, right? So all of the work that I did, all of the material that I built up was just instantly taken away because the inmates run the asylum. If they changed that and they make it so that they, let's say the new owners or whoever buys it, let's say they go, okay, we're going to revamp this. Yeah, we're going to keep the algorithm, but we're going to get rid of this mass reporting easy takedown shit. We're going to get we're going to change it up a little bit. Maybe we'll get rid of the stitches, or we're going to do it this way. If it's changed, but it's still an app where it's like a good video platform, because the platform itself in theory is a good platform where you can add music to your videos and you got easy editing. I wouldn't have a problem with that. I've always said, I go, hey, if TikTok sticks around, but it's just not China controlled, if you don't have letters to Obama getting pushed on the fucking platform where it's like, hey, we're gonna make
Letters to America.
letters to America. Sorry, why did I say Obama? Osama, Obama,
Because Osama,
Osama,
Obama.
Obama.
Listen, even CNN made that mistake. You know.
um, yeah, let's see what happens, man. But I do know, I think I know that Trump does not have the authority after April 5th to keep that app. That is, from what I understand,
Now, I thought it was if there was a chance for a deal that he could do it again.
maybe, maybe. I
And maybe that's why Vance, quote unquote, is coming through with this because they need more time and they know it will fail, but it's a legitimate chance to buy
Well,
it.
here's what I think. I think that we should. I think that Trump should not talk out of both sides of his mouth. Right? If you're saying China's fucking dangerous, China's our adversary, China, 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 and then you go, but also, like, it's like, dude, like, you can't send that dual messaging. So I think what he should do is he should say, look, we're taking it from China, just like he's doing with fucking the Palestine Gaza bullshit. He's like, no, no, no,
Yeah.
we're gonna take it, right? If you do that with China, I'll be on board. If TikTok is just an American like platform, yeah, I don't even care if I like it or not. As long as it's an American platform, look, I think that American companies do just as much shady shit as foreign owned companies, but at least they're American. And I know that that sounds crazy because
Well, I mean, we can prosecute them.
yes, you can. It's hard, but you still can. With China, you can't sue that platform. So, for instance, right, if an American company banned me 360 times, I'd probably have a decent lawsuit on my hands. But I tried that. I had a lawyer. We did everything we possibly could do. We went down every road. And what we ended up was we go, okay, we could take this to a district court in California where we will lose. Like we explored all
Right. Yeah.
options. There's one court in California where you can sue TikTok essentially. And that court is in a fucking it's in LA, I think. It's in like literally a fucking liberal stronghold. They're not going to fucking hear you. So, we'll see what happens, man. And what else? We got let's see here. What else happened this week? Oh, Christy Nome. Did you see Christy Nome going into that
That
fucking
video was
She's
unreal.
just casually fucking shooting the
She is
shit.
in front of that whole, like, that cage.
Yeah, they're all in the background. They're shaved. They're just shaved fucking gang members, and they're all just standing there like, and they keep looking over at the fucking guard that's like, I will fuck you up. Like, I will if you guys do anything in the background. And they had to cut the video. You saw one guy grabbing his shorts, and it looked like he might have been throwing up a gang sign, and they did the edited the video. It's
Yeah. That was a good one from Gnome. I thought that was very well done.
yeah. No, see the thing about Chrissy Nome's position, um everyone was giving her shit, and yeah, I know she killed a dog. Everyone was giving her shit, but it looks like she's exactly who should be there. She's out there in the field doing the work, right? And Tom Homan, same thing, out there in the field doing the work. Kash Patel, out there in the field doing the work. And you know what this administration's strategy is to show the American people that the people that Donald Trump hired are actually in the field doing the work. They're going places. They're what the
Hegseth too.
Hegseth too,
Yeah.
right? I mean, look, I don't care if it's fucking optics. I don't care if it's PR. It makes me feel good, right? Like it makes me
Yeah.
feel good because we spent the last 4 years where they would call a lid on the White House at noon. We didn't know shit until Biden would come out with a fucking fake White House where this is literally a fucking set. And I'm perfectly fine with this fucking administration. What do you think about the people that are bitching about the numbers of deportations being so low? It's only only
Well,
only
I
thirty
listen.
thousand. It's been
I
two
think they
months.
have a point.
Yeah.
They're low, but there's not. I mean, when you have judges who are saying you can't use the Alien Enemies Act,
Mm-hmm.
and all this standing, what are they supposed to do?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, what are they supposed to do? Trump wanted to speed it up. That's why he used the Alien Enemies Act. He got blocked
Yep.
twice. He got blocked by Boasberg, and he's got blocked again by an appeals court. So it's going to have to go to the Supreme Court now.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the Alien Enemies Act applies for wartime, or it applies during
Just
wartime,
just
and that's
declare.
why Donald Trump. That's why Donald Trump declared these gangs terrorist
Yep.
organizations. Because
Well, you know what he
yeah,
can do? He could do this tomorrow. He could just declare war on Venezuela. Like he could just do it.
well, Congress has to approve that,
Oh yeah,
but
that's true.
but yeah,
But
yeah,
I'm saying
yeah.
he can make them. Like he can just be like, hey, you know what? We're at war with Venezuela now. Like fucking why? Blake and Riley. Fucking call it a day. You know,
That's it.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's really wild seeing the new strategy from the Democrats because the new strategy apparently it was lawfare before, it was impeach, impeach, impeach. Now that they've lost the power to do that because they don't have a majority, apparently it's get judges to stop Trump. And like I said last week, this week, and I will probably say next week, straight to jail. Just fucking
Mm.
look, I know it's gonna be if this is what Trump is doing, which I think it is. I think that every time a judge pokes his head up like a fucking game of whack-a-mole, I think that he's going investigate him. right? Investigate that fucker, right? And he should. He absolutely should, because these judges have clear biases. They're going outside of the scope of their normal duties. And I, instead of, like what most politicians would do, which is, bitch about it, maybe try to get an impeachment hearing going. I think what Trump should do is investigate. And hey, if the judges, hey, if that motherfucker crosses the street without looking both ways, straight to jail, right? That's what I would do. And I would get right on the fucking, I would get right in front of the fucking cameras, and I'd be like, well, you guys used lawfare against me, so I don't see the problem with it. You know,
Right.
you guys,
Right.
hey, I thought innocent. If he's innocent, then he shouldn't have a problem, right? Isn't that what you guys said about me? If I can't find it, then then there's no problem, right? Isn't that what you guys said about me? I think that Trump should do it.
Did you see what he did today? Trump did on Truth Social.
No, what
This is disappointing.
what do you say now?
About 3 hours ago, he endorsed Lindsey Graham for re-election
You
in
know
South
what?
Carolina.
Here's the deal. I have some inside baseball on that. I won't tell you who, on camera, but I know people in the Trump orbit, and somebody that I know told me one time that they brought this up directly to Donald Trump. And Donald Trump's response, allegedly, was keep your enemies close, right? Keep your enemies close. I know who my real friends are. And if that's the case, Donald Trump is playing chess, man. I mean, are we going to primary Lindsey Graham and win? Probably not. So, should he endorse somebody else and create a rift in the Republican Party? Probably not.
I think the best thing to do in that case, I understand why he's not going to endorse against Graham right now because the agenda hasn't been passed and he needs Graham's vote. So that's one part of it. Um, just stay out.
Don't endorse at
Just
all.
stay out of the primary.
Yeah.
Say, Lindsey, you're a main play in South Carolina. You don't need my help.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
I mean,
know,
yeah, we
I
could do
don't
that.
like seeing. I understand keep your enemies close. I get it. I get it. I get it.
Could
It's
be
just,
there could be some there could be some
ooh, I don't like that.
no, no, I don't like Lindsey Graham either. He's a warmongering cunt. All right, like, so we're all on the same page. Everybody's on the same page. I think that Trump views these types of things as I'm not really going to lose any votes. Right? I really don't think he will either, because it's sort of just like, okay, I know you guys aren't going to like this, but are you going to do anything about it? No.
Well,
Right?
they
It's
can't.
like,
It's not like Trump's running again.
exactly.
You
So
know,
I think that maybe he's like, look, I understand that I might get a little bit of hate for a week, but people will move on. I don't like Lindsey Graham. I never have. But we'll see what happens. Like, the thing is, you got fucking Thomas Massey. Trump comes out and he goes, I'm going to primary Thomas Massey. And he gets a shitload of blowback because Thomas Massey has a fucking cult following of Jew hating cunts that come after Trump. And Trump's like, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't go against my own party right now. Maybe that's what he's thinking. And, like you said, not going against doesn't mean you have to full throated endorse, but maybe he's trying to show a message of, being able to work with the neocons. You never know. And speaking of Thomas Massey, what do you think of this fucking dual loyalty disclosure act that he just fucking dropped? It's like, if so, he's basically saying anybody with a dual citizenship that wants to run for federal office, they should have to disclose to the voters in all counties which they hold dual citizenship. Now, I think he's doing this because he's like anti-Israel, where he's like, if you're a dual citizen of Israel, you're gonna have to go door to door and be like, I like the Jews. I think that this would probably be more against fucking Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib than anybody. But
yeah,
there's not that many fucking people. There's what, 6%, I think, in Congress of Jewish congressmen. I think it's 6%. It's like, this is the way I view it, and maybe I'm biased. I'm, in fact, not maybe, I am biased. It's something that I talk about all the time. This whole fucking, I don't like to use the word anti-Semitism, but this anti-Israel shit, it is the most confusing shit ever. Steven Crowder just did a whole segment on this, right? Where he was going after APAC. And I was like, yeah, I agree with Steven Crowder. I didn't have any of my Jewish supporters come at me about that. Right? They're like, no, we don't hate you because you don't like APAC, because I've never displayed any type of support for the Israeli government. I've never displayed any type of support for any government. I'm not for any PACs. So yeah, okay. My position has always been how ridiculous the other side sounds when they hyperfixate on APAC, who's 199th in lobbying and 20th in donations. So if you're bitching about the number 20 PAC and you're saying that they control Congress, why aren't you bitching about 1 through 19?
Right.
Right? Where is one where do you land on the
And
National
that's because and
Association
that's
of
because all right, we know the real motivation here is it's an anti-Jewish thing. That's all it is.
it
You know,
really is.
I would not be shocked if tomorrow Candace Owens decided to tweet that it wasn't an iceberg but a dreidel that caused the Titanic to sink. It actually crashed to dreidel in the Atlantic Ocean. The ship sunk. Like I wouldn't be shocked.
Well, you know what's really they're starting to tell on themselves a little bit. Is these And I know that these accounts are ridiculous, but like Stu Peters, right?
Oh,
Like Stu Peters
that
comes
guy's
out.
wrong more than
Oh my
CNN.
god, he really is. Um, like
Oh,
okay, amazing. Stu Peters shows as clear as day. APAC Jews assassinated JFK. APAC wasn't fucking around back then. I don't. I What was it? It was 1960. It was the AZT. The AZT essentially disbanded, and APAC was formed. I want to say after JFK was killed. So right there, I'm pretty sure I'm right about that. No, the guy is fucking retarded. But hold on, I was looking for this Palestine thing that he posted. Um, is yeah, no, not that one. The funny thing that so the point I'm trying to make, instead of looking for this, I'll just paraphrase it. He's going pray for Palestine or something like that, right? And it's like, okay, if you're anti-Jew, that's one thing. Okay, if you have some gripe against Jews because you're some Christian who just doesn't understand the Bible, that's one thing. Why the fuck are you pro-terrorist? That's the other thing, right? It's If you're just anti-Jew, I guess I could have a little bit more respect for you, right? I think you're fucking retarded, but if you're just anti-Jew and you're an America first and your messaging is we don't like Jews because they control America, if that's your crazy stupid conspiracy theory, why are you in support of people who chant death to America? That's the part I can't figure out. Right? So these people are constantly talking about Jews, 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 Jews. Okay.
right.
Why are you talking about the Palestinians at all? Right? Why are you talking about the why do you have any problem with Jews killing Palestinians? Because if you're Christian and you're against people that want to hurt America, you should be like, look, I don't like the Jews, but at least they're killing the Muslims, right? Like, I don't like the Jews, but at least they're killing the people that chant death to America. It seems like the anti-Jew people are actually in support of Muslims and in support of
That's right.
Palestinians.
And it's funny because this is the Christ is King people.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, that's cool. You know what? Good. I'm happy that you have such strong faith in that. Go say that in Gaza.
Yeah, exactly.
I go stand in where you believe is Palestine and shout, Christ is King.
Christ is king.
And tell me how long you hold on to
Oh,
your head.
you'll be fucking stoned to death. Well, no, if you're a guy, you'll probably be fucking beheaded.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah. So
That's the
I
whole, and you had mentioned this the other day. The enemy of the enemy is, basically the enemy is my friend. So they hate the same people that I hate, so we're friends.
yeah,
No,
no,
you're
no.
not. I
Sometimes,
guarantee
yeah.
you're not friends.
Sometimes the enemy of your enemy is a terrorist.
Yeah.
Sometimes the enemy of your enemy wants to murder you as well. So that's what I'm talking about, right? You got Nick Fuentes, who's constantly talking about, oh, look at Israel's committing a genocide in Gaza. Why do you give a fuck? Right? Why do you care if Jews are killing Muslims? Because you're a Christian, you should hate Muslims too, shouldn't you?
Yeah,
They don't say.
I thought he was Mr. America first. Why do we care so much about what's going on in Gaza?
Well, it's just like the Tucker Carlson thing. The Tucker Carlson thing, it was fucking hilarious that Tucker Carlson said on the same fucking day that he interviewed the leader of the Qatari government, he goes, maybe focus on American problems. And it's like, bro, you're interviewing the fucking Qatari government. You're interviewing the people that fund Hamas. And you're saying, yeah, there's a big fentanyl crisis in America, so why don't you focus on that? Why don't you fucking focus on that?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't see you at the fucking border. All
Right.
right? Like I don't you're in fucking Saudi Arabia, dickhead. What the fuck are you doing there? If you're American, why are you in Russia, fuckface? Like what the fuck? Focus on America while I go interview Putin and fucking the fucking terrorists? Like, dude, no. Look, practice what you preach is all I'm saying. Hate Jews all you want. It's your right, okay? Hating shit is not illegal. I hate terrorists, okay? Fuck it. But I don't I don't do the Ukraine no, I'm sorry. I don't do the Putin bad, Ukraine good thing. Just like I don't do the Jews bad, Muslims good thing. I mean,
Right.
obviously not. But this is why the woke left and the woke right are the same fucking thing. Because the woke left will say Putin bad, which means Ukraine good. Okay? The woke right says Jews bad, which means Palestine good.
Well, and even they even do it on the same issue. They'll say so. The
They'll flip.
woke left is Putin bad, Ukraine good. The woke right is Ukraine bad, Putin good. I'm like, okay, Ukraine bad, Putin bad.
Yeah,
Let's just stay out of the
how
whole damn
about
thing altogether.
All right, Ukraine bad, Putin bad, Hamas bad, Islamic terrorists bad, Jews they're all right. I don't have a problem with them. It's like what did the Jews do? Oh, the USS Liberty. The fucking friendly fire incident from the 1960s. What the fuck are you talking about? And then the JFK files come out and it's like these fucking retards for the past however long have been just screaming that Israel killed JFK. Israel killed JFK. Israel killed JFK. The new 80,000 document dump, right? It shows I think it showed the KGB and Russia was named I want to say 360 times, right? Israel was named like 8. And they were like, "See?" Just like, "See? Israel did it." I'm like, "Wait, what?" No, I think if anything,
Right.
maybe Cuba, like maybe somebody. I mean, it was pretty much inconclusive no matter which way you look at it. But you know, these people they really don't care about whether or not they're getting to the truth, which is ironic because they call themselves truthers and noticers.
Yeah,
They just
noticers. That's my favorite. What exactly are you
yeah,
noticing?
you notice. You know what I know? You know what I noticed? You're fucking retarded. I noticed that a long time ago. I noticed that shit right away, like instantaneously. But yeah, man, I think that's pretty much all I got, unless you got any other fucking hot topics you want to bring up.
No, the hottest thing we did was the signal thing, which was really just a bunch of people going crazy over. My biggest point with the signal thing is, was it a mistake to put that journalist in
Yeah,
there? I don't think anybody is arguing that point right now. Of course, it was a mistake to put a hack journalist in that
sure.
position. Nobody's saying no. Jeff Goldberg absolutely should have been in there. He had a right to be in there. Nobody's
No,
saying that. I think the biggest problem with the signal thing, and everyone's it's classified information. I go, all right, tell me who is at risk of of getting hurt in this when you have no idea what the target is, where the target
oh,
is, where the F-18s are coming from, the routes that they're
yeah.
taking. It was
So,
look. Was it sloppy? Sure. Should somebody get chewed out over it? Absolutely. Is it classified information worthy of firing people and impeachments and hypervent?
No.
No.
And
Let's get a
that's
grip.
the other thing. Actually, you just brought up a good point. So the classified information. I'm not military. I don't know what classified information looks like, right? I've never had any classified information. But I'm pretty sure team update, time now, weather is favorable is not classified information. F-18,
Hey guys, it's sunny
yeah.
outside. That's classified. Oh,
Triggered
oh,
base,
oh.
Windows starts, location should be on, blah blah blah. Right? This is the dumbest thing that you could have fucking even tried to allude to, right? Okay. So, this journalist is saying I have classified information, okay? I'm dropping it on the internet saying it's classified information, right? And exposing the government for giving me classified information. Do you realize that if it was classified information, what you're doing right now is fucking treason, dickhead? Because you
Mm-hmm.
can't drop classified information on the
That
fucking
was the biggest
internet.
thing I said this morning. I was like, all right, so you're telling me it's classified. So when does Goldberg go to
Yeah, that's
jail?
what I'm saying.
Like,
Bro, this right here, if the response from the White House is that's not classified, right? That's that's proof that it's not classified because the response from the White House, if it was classified, was we arrested Jeffrey Goldberg. He's now in
yeah,
jail.
like
Yeah,
this.
Jeffrey Goldberg's in jail, and but
Go
then
get him.
they started playing this game with semantics, right? So I have the definitions right here. Let's read these because he said
Well, first, this is what they did. They
war
went
plan,
from
war
war
plan to attack
plans
plan.
to attack
Yes,
plans. They went from classified information to
sensitive.
sensitive
Yes,
information.
sensitive.
Oh,
Yeah, the
okay.
fucking weather on the operation that already happened, right? So that like you drop this after the operation happened. So I guess that Jeffrey Goldberg wants a pat on the fucking back for not telling the Houthis. Like I think that that's what he's really saying. He's like, I could have told them. Yeah, you could have. You know what? You'd go to jail. Like fucking if you were accidentally added to a fucking chat and you were like, I'm gonna drop this on the internet, and you endangered US soldiers with careless reporting just because you can drop it, right? Nah. I'm pretty sure that you'd still go to jail. But anyway, so Jeff Goldberg comes out and says it's a war plan. A war plan is a broad strategic framework that encompasses an overall approach to an entire conflict. It's a big picture document that includes goals, resources, allocations, logistics, diplomatic considerations, multiple operations, and it's about winning a war, not as a battle. It's equivalent to U.S. World War II's Plan Orange for a potential conflict with Japan. It covered everything from naval strategy to industrial mobilization. That fucking text was not a war plan. Point blank and period. An attack plan, however, is a specific tactical blueprint focused on executing a single operation or strike against a target. Now, it outlines the details of how a particular attack will be carried out. Think troop movements, weapons, timing, objectives. It's narrower. For instance, a plan to capture a specific bridge or neutralize an enemy outpost would be an attack plan. So what Pete Hegseth did was Pete Hegseth got classified information on an attack plan, and then he in the signal chat just updated people with the timeline for the attack plan that he had seen. Not classified. It's essentially just like a hey guys, we're still good. It's like we're still on. Um so it's kind of like the telephone game. Like, was what Jeffrey Goldberg released classified? No. Was it based off of classified information that Pete Hegseth saw? Yes. And that's why I agree with everybody that what happened was 100% a mistake. It was careless. It shouldn't have happened. We can call them out for that. But the reporting on it is fake fucking news. If they had just reported it honestly, if Jeffrey Goldberg wasn't a fucking hack, he would have said, look, none of this is classified, and that's why I can release it. Right? None of this is classified. I know I'm not going to jail because it's not fucking classified. Instead, what he basically did was he goes, I just released classified information and I'm going to get away with it. Like, no.
No.
You you would be in jail,
Right.
right?
Either you didn't release classified information because it wasn't classified, or you did, and you're going to be in a lot of trouble.
Exactly. So
So,
it's like anybody, they really do think that people are fucking dumb, and unfortunately some people fucking are. You got eyelashes Crockett going like this is treason. No, it's not. It's not treason because
it's
it's
and
it's
then there's
just
people who are like, they released it before. Nobody, Goldberg released it.
yeah,
These guys talked about it in a text,
yeah,
and it was all quote unquote released after the fact. These
exactly.
guys did not know Goldberg was in there.
Yeah.
Nobody posted this on social media before the attack.
Yep.
Goldberg was in there, shouldn't have been in there. I
Because
get it. He's a
Goldberg,
journalist.
well,
This is a scoop that landed in his lap. If I
mhm.
was him, I would have done the exact
Same
same
here.
thing.
No,
Okay?
I probably would have done something even crazier. I would have stayed in that fucking thing. I would have stayed in there and see.
And until it closed,
Yeah, like that's
you
what I would
know?
have done. But either way, right? The point is, what you're hearing on the news is a lie. Okay, not classified. It happened after the attack, and what everybody should do is say, this was a fuck up, but it was a minor fuck up that had no damage because even if, right, your hypothetical situation, which is Jeffrey Goldberg got sensitive information that he could have used to warn the Houthis and put Americans in danger, Jeffrey Goldberg would be in a fucking cell in Gitmo. So it really was a victimless, not a victimless crime, a victimless mistake. It should have been covered one day, and no, nobody should get fired for it. But Mike Walls already came out and he goes, "Yep, I'm taking responsibility. We're going to do a better job in the future." And
And
that's
you know
good enough
what?
for
And
me.
you know what? That's good enough for me as well, right? I watched a lot of sports. Your quarterback throws a bad interception, does something
Yeah.
wrong, comes out, says, "Hey, that's all on me, and I'm going to get better." What are you going to do?
Yep.
You're going to bench him
Yeah, just throw a fucking touchdown.
because of a bad
Throw a
game?
fucking
No, you're going to put him
touchdown.
back
Yep.
out there, and you're going to say you have to have amnesia.
Yep.
Remember this, but don't make the same mistakes. And here's my thing: if you make the same mistakes over and over, by
Then,
all means, you get
yeah.
fired.
Hey, if Mike
If you
Walls,
make a mistake, own it, learn from it, grow from it, get better from it, then that mistake becomes a good
well,
thing.
it's like this, right? Think about it like the way that I treated the Alina Habba situation, right? Alina Habba comes out and she says, "Oh, I'm a big fan of Andrew Tate." Did I call for her to be fired immediately? No. Right? I did not.
No.
I actually was saying, I go, I don't think she should be fired. I go, I think that she's stupid, but I don't think she should be
Yeah.
fired. It wasn't,
She should know
yeah,
better.
it wasn't until her interview with Pierce Morgan after the Benny Johnson interview where I go, okay, maybe she should be fired. Right? Like, yeah,
Because she came out and
she
essentially
doubled,
doubled
she
down
doubled
and did
down.
the whole,
And then her
yeah.
third interview where she goes, "Look, I mean, it's disgusting, but," I was like, "Okay, definitely fire her." Like,
You
bitch,
have to go.
bitch, just learn these words. I'm sorry, fucking, but she didn't, and now she's in New Jersey, and I think that we did it. So I feel bad because I used to like her a lot, and I still kind of do. It's just, you can't be fucking around. This is the no fucking around time. This is the this is the most potentially consequential administration in history. What he can do, what he has the potential to do, could change the political landscape for fucking decades, right? And we need to start noticing the people that are trying to railroad that and immediately going after them. You got Scott
Yep.
Pressler doing what he does, right? Scott Pressler is doing his fucking job. You're not. You got me doing my job. I am the fucking trash man, okay? I am the guy who doesn't care how many people get mad at me for saying the thing that you guys are all thinking, and I'm going to say it. You got other people like Shawn who are reporting on the daily shit and giving his own opinions, and then you have the dumb cunt influencers who only care about getting clicks, likes, and views. Those are the people we got to call out. All right? So if we all do our fucking job, this could be 3 years and 9 months more of this could change the political landscape where Donald Trump gets his whole agenda done, sets up for his successor. His successor has 8 years, finishes the plan that Donald Trump started, and then after 12 years, we have nothing but fucking green pastures. And it would become a hard times create strong men. And I want my kids, my grandkids probably, to have to deal with this shit again when weak men create hard times. All right,
Yeah,
guys.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
You two are the
I'm with
voice of
you.
reason. All right, well, let's do the shout outs because we got some compliments in here. All right, Kasha L. You two are the voice of reason on the conservative side. Fed up with the bullshit, including the fights that don't matter within the right. Cheers. Thank you. Emerald Sonic, how we doing over here? Dude thinks he's James O'Keefe. You're not talking about me. I don't like that motherfucker. Let's just do the shout outs. Emerald Sonic, Alia Aloha. Oh, that sounds fun to say. Raven 620. We got K Hart 917. Stassi's for real. That's Gina. Brendan
Gina.
Brendan Farish doing the moderator thing. We got pretty slow chat today. Just the regulars. But that's my fault, guys. I haven't been here the past couple of days. I won't be here tomorrow morning. Next week, I will have this job completely wrapped up. I'll be starting a new project, and I'll have a little bit more leeway. So I at least wanted to give you the weekly breakdown tonight. And next week, we'll get the full lineup back in order. And I think next weekend I'm gonna pull this off of YouTube, because everyone's doing the leave YouTube thing, and I kind of like it.
Yeah,
So fuck YouTube. Fuck them.
that's it.
I
I'm
was
with it. I'm with
I
that
was just
100%.
trying to get banned, but they just won't ban me now. So I'm like, fuck it. Let's just fucking leave.
Yeah, just do a bit. You'll ban
Yeah. Oh, I'm
them.
gonna delete, and I'm not gonna just. I'm gonna delete the account too. I'm gonna be like, fuck it. 23,000 followers. Fuck them. Gone. That's what I'm willing to do. All right, boys and girls. You guys enjoy the rest of your week. I will see you on Tuesday. And I'm trying to rebook the lawyer for the Andrew Tate victim. She had a scheduling conflict, so we'll see if we can get her back in here next week. All right, boys.